It's the night of the 8th of April, and I mean, I could be going 24 hours a day with all the corruption that is in Ireland. I was speaking to a lady over the West today about something, and oh, she said, I never realised there was so much corruption. Folks, people are slowly coming around. It's terrible. We have to provide an alternative government. That's the thing. Now, our government, run by the present coalition, is the same as the Vichy regime in France during the war. Those are regimes set up in France to do Hitler's bidding. And when Charles de Gaulle had to flee to England and fight them, this crowd cooperated with Hitler instead of saying, we're having nothing to do with it. Now, when the war was over, some of them got hanged. Some of them were hung, as we say. Our government is the same as the Vichy regime. It's destroying our country. It's destroying our country, and it's causing all kinds of problems. Some people can't take it and they go and riot and do things. I try to do this, and we try to get the people round to our side. Some strong Fianna Fáil supporters have told me I'm right. But I want to show you now what's in the paper here. I mean, this Mail on Sunday, I got a great value out of it this Sunday. It's by Colin McGurk. The state paid more than 320 million to just 10 companies for providing accommodation for asylum seekers and refugees last year, the Irish Mail on Sunday can reveal. The multi-million euro contracts to the top 10 private accommodation providers accounts for around 15% of the 2.12 billion the Department of Integration spends on accommodation for those fleeing the war in Ukraine. 101.49 billion, and international protection applicants 640 million in 2023, newly released figures can show. Now, the thing about it is, I showed a wee bit of a white feather in respect of Ukrainians that are forced to join the army, young lads forced to join the army and going to be killed. I couldn't refuse them an old place to lie in, put up an old hut down in the Curragh and let them pass over the war. That's not what's happening. What's happening is the equivalent to during the Troubles in the North, if migrants with no future and nothing, economic migrants from Kerry, were brought away to here. A lot of these migrants have nothing to do with the war. A big part of Ukraine is not subject to the war at all. It's only a tiny part of it is subject to the war, right? Yet there are thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of them here. The other thing is these protection applicants. From where? Where would people need protection now? Only Gaza. Isn't that where the real thing is? There's none of this. The whole world is war torn. We're not going to have to take in everybody. There'll always be wars. So this is the Roderick O'Gorman, Helen McEntee. Oh, these are the villains that's doing this. These are the equivalent of the Vichy government, and Eamon Ryan is no better. Details of the vast sum paid to private companies emerged as members of the Dáil spending watchdog prepare to grill senior department integration officials, including Secretary Kevin McCarthy, next Thursday. The Public Accounts Committee showdown follows earlier revelations in the Mail on Sunday about multi-million euro contracts paid to private providers, some of whom hide their huge profits in offshore tax havens. Now, isn't our government that was run by Varouka and now run by this lad, he'll do no better, Harris, aren't they really the Vichy traitors? Isn't that what they really are? Look what they're paying out of our money. Now, an analysis of the first full year figures published by the Department of Integration this week shows Cape Wrath Hotel Unlimited, which operated the reception centre for new arrivals at the City West Hotel in Dublin, was paid 71.5 million. In 2023, making it the top earner from the lucrative state contracts by some distance. Its directors are James Byrne, Stephen Peat, Damien Gaffney, Michael McElliott, Kieran McElliott. Cape Wrath is ultimately more than half owned by bodies registered in Guernsey and the Isle of Man. Some hope of getting your tax off them. Now, we need a cab. When we get power, we will have to follow these people up and take it back. It can be done for criminals. But this is not technically a criminal offence. But that doesn't mean we cannot in the future make it a criminal offence. a treacherous treason is still an offence in Ireland. And I would favour a body to claim this back of these people. Brimwood Unlimited Company, and they're all unlimited, you know, they're not, it's all, in other words, they're private company, was the second highest earner last year with payments totaling 35 million. 35.8 million. Its directors are the former Monaghan, Meath and Gaelic football manager Seamus McEnany, the Banty, from Carrick. Now he's from. He's famous. They're always talking about him. 35 million. The Banty. And his daughter Sarah McEnany and Laura McEnany. Oh, they're keeping a hold on the family there. Well, if I get me way, every bob will be taken back of you. We'll leave you on the road. We'll bring in Criminal Assets Bureau to cover this. You cooperated with a treacherous government. Right? It's legal at the minute. I'm not saying it's not legal. It is legal. That doesn't make it right. The Mail on Sunday previously revealed a further 50 million was paid to 12 other companies belonging to McEnany's family. Another 50 million. McEnany's family for similar contracts across 18 months up to last September. Now, this should be enough for you people who vote Fianna Fáil and are thinking of going out to do it again, and you people who vote Fine Gael, and those thinking of voting for Sinn Féin who will pay more. If this doesn't sicken you, whatever will? Guestford Limited, which operates Moran's Red Cow Hotel in Dublin, was paid contracts totaling 31.9 million. The company is owned by Irish Registered Designated Activity Company. That's the one you get with the windmills. A designated activity company shared by Sheila Moran and Thomas Moran. Its directors are Karen Moran, Thomas Moran Jr., Michael Moran and Tracy Moran. Travel Lodge Hotels, a British company whose 33 directors are based in the UK, according to Vision Net, was paid 30 million to the UK. 30 million in 2023. Holiday Inn Dublin Airport was paid the fifth highest in refugee accommodation at 27.6 million. Windward Management Limited received 27.5 million in contracts across 2023. The company is almost entirely owned by Patrick Coyle and the directors Jane Ryan, Patrick Coyle, Brendan Curtis and Ian McSweeney. Mosney Unlimited Company received 26.2 million in state contracts last year. The former holiday camp is more than 96% owned by Il Molino Hotels Unlimited Company, which is more than 95% owned by Soning, S-O-N-N-I-N-G, Unlimited, registered in the Isle of Man. Fair play to you. In the Isle of Man. Folks, you have your candidates. You have Herman Kelly. You have Michael Leahy down the south. You have James Reynolds for the National Party in Ireland North West, and I'll deal with more. And you have Kieran Malooly, who I don't know much about. He better get on to me and state his case. Right? You have to vote. You have to vote against this government. This is treachery. It is directed by Sarah Gates, Ruth Cairns, Phelan McCluskey and Paul McCluskey. Alpro Security Services Ireland Limited received 26.1 million throughout the year, and its directors by Rachel McHugh and Christopher Moore is 50-50 owned by Alan Connolly, Conor Nolan. TIFCO Ireland directed by Enda O'Mara, Brian Champion and Patrick Marby was paid 21.8 million. It is almost entirely owned through succession of Irish registration companies by a company registered in Luxembourg. 21 million, all Luxembourg, folks. Right, do you think I'm gone off my head or something to get annoyed over this? It's in the paper. I want just bringing it to you a bit more. Now, Pumpkin Spice Limited. Well, that sounds juicy. Pumpkin Spice Limited. Another company with the same directors, and whose ultimate majority ownership can be traced to the same Luxembourg company, was paid 10.6 million. Right? Completing the top 10 is Next Week and Company Limited, which was paid 21 million in 2023. Its directors are Tony O'Neill and John Crean, who owns half the company through a series of holding companies. Oh, look, I can't go any longer with it. I'm afraid I'll run out of space. You know, here they are again. Cape Wrath Hotel, Brimwood Unlimited, Guestford Limited, Travel Lodge Hotels. It's just, there's no point going into it anymore. Folks, have I made you mad? If I haven't, well, then Ireland is finished. Our little island is finished. Not only are we being replaced by all these, they're economic migrants. There is no vetting on them to see who they are. They could come, some of them have their houses in Ukraine and they have them rented and coming over here looking for the same. I've made the principle about Ukraine. I've made a video before showing how a Christian woman sentenced to death, Asi Baby, was refused admission to Ireland. This is a nasty, nasty development, and we gotta use it to swing the vote round. You are better with anybody except the present parties. And that's all I can say for now, and I'll say more about it. This is unbelievable, unbelievable treachery. It's a Vichy-like government. It's the government that is doing what its people, exactly what they don't want. None of this was put before the Irish people in any referendum or any election or anything else. And they think they can go up again now and get elected again and not mention it again. Oh, I'll give you a voice in the door. Oh, this is what they are going to do. They're going to promise you the earth, moon and stars, and you got to say for whom. Who is going to benefit? And you know who's going to benefit. Folks, give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down and comment underneath.